Okay, guys. Let's get my other screen set up here. Oop. Okay. Okay. It is too cold outside. It's way too cold outside. It's like 16 degrees outside, and I know that that is nothing compared to some places, but I'm a California girl. 16 is too cold. Way too cold. So I'm gonna sit here and freeze and do this thing. All right, Addison, I see that you're on, and Amy, good morning. Can you guys hear me okay? Can you give me a thumbs up? Let me know if sound is okay this morning. If my internet's not messing up or anything. Okay, awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So, it's going to give a couple more seconds. At the clock turn officially to 6:10 because that's like my start time. 6 a.m. conscious coffee at 6:10. Okay. So, as I see, Michael's watching too. So, okay. So we got main people on here. We got groupies on here, right? Good morning. Awesome. Thank you, Amy. So yeah, so it's interesting. I don't have a quote today. I didn't even open up a book for a quote. I didn't look anywhere. So maybe the quote is supposed to come from somebody else, not from me this morning. Who knows? We'll see. But it's, as you can see, I titled it Ashes to Ashes. And Ashes to Ashes, well, there you have it. And we're talking about death. Death. Fun little topic there. And it's interesting because yesterday, you know, my mom's gonna be 83, and she's scared to death of death. She's scared to death of death. Really, she is. Like, her immortality is staring her right in the face, and it is stealing the little bit of life that she has left because she's so scared of death. And yesterday I went over and had to take her to the doctor because she's got really just a nasty cold, not much going on, but she thinks that she's dying. So I had to take her to the doctor, get her cough medicine and all that good stuff. I took her out to lunch, and over lunch I had to break the news to her that her ex-husband, my half-brother from her first marriage, that her ex-husband passed away last Thursday. And he's a year younger than her. So I had to tell her, it's like, oh, his name's Wayne. Like, Wayne passed away last Thursday. They did the funeral over the weekend and blah, 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 blah. And we were talking about stuff, and I was like, it's not gonna be the best conversation. And she quickly changed the subject. She was like, oh, she told me some little story and then changed the subject. And asked me how I thought her hands looked. She looks at her hands, and she's like, oh, my hands are so ugly. These aren't my hands. These are so ugly. They're so wrinkly and so this and so that. And she'll hold her hand up, and she shakes really bad. And she holds her down, and she's like, look at this. What are we going to do about this? Or every now and then she'll like lift up her skirt or something and show me her leg, and she'll say, just look at what has happened to my legs. I can't believe this is happening to my legs. These are not my legs. There's something wrong with me. So she's very, very caught up on her body and what is the changes that are occurring. And, you know, I can see what's happening. She feels in her head, she probably feels 20, 25, you know, and she wants to go do these things, and she wants all this different stuff. And then she gets faced with the reality of her wrinkly skin, her shakes, dementia, being loss of control of the decisions that she can make even, you know. She doesn't drive, she doesn't even really get to choose the food that she eats these days because I have her in a private residence home because of the dementia. So it's, all those different things. And as I was sitting there over lunch yesterday with her, we're talking about stuff, and she just kept going on and on, full of regret. She's like, I need to find a good man to go travel with. And I need to get out of this situation. I got to change my thoughts. I got to change things. I want to live alone. I'm gonna find an apartment. Help me find an apartment. I can't live where I'm at anymore. And then she goes through different stuff, and she starts talking about stuff, and then having a daughter like me who's a complete realist on everything is probably not one of the most fun things to do in your elder years, your golden years, is to have your kid just be, well, this is the way it is. But that's the conversation that we ended up having, was all on the reality of death. And I was telling her, I even told her, I said, I'm doing this tomorrow for Conscious Coffee. I don't normally plan ahead, but I'm doing this tomorrow for Conscious Coffee because I was realizing the lesson of death in that moment, and that we haven't really discussed death. We keep talking about, making all these great plans for our life, but we don't really discuss inevitable. None of us are going to escape this life alive in this form. So it made me realize that that's a good topic to talk about. So ashes to ashes it is, and death is on the table. So but as I was talking to her, I was explaining to her, I said, the way I kind of view it, because everybody who really gets to know me knows me, that those that I'm not, I don't know, I'm pretty easy going to let go of the majority of things. I'm not an overly attached person. I've had many, many people tell me, "Ann, you're just unattached." And whether that's good, bad, or other doesn't much matter. It's true. I'm a pretty unattached person. I kind of just go through the process of, I've basically killed everybody in my life in my head and gone through a mourning process already. I don't know, I started that years ago with my children because I watched these parents running around and being overly protective, and these helicopter parents of not letting their kids experience life out of fear that something bad was going to happen. And my take on death is that it's coming for all of us, and we don't really have a choice as to when it comes. We only can make the best of the time that we have in the moment, and to be in the moment. So even with my own children, I'm very much in the moment with them and not worrying about what is going on outside of what I can actually be present in. And as I was telling her, I said, it's truly like, it's like this. This is how I see us humans operating, and this is how I see us really thinking about death in general as a world society for the most part. Now there are, and I can't really say full world society because there's lots of little groups of people out there that believe other. But this is how I view us looking at death. I view us looking at death as though we are this little finger here, and we choose to put on a puppet. So we have our little finger puppet, and we're right, and we're talking about the finger puppet's going, oh, the finger puppet is going to work today. The finger puppet is getting married today. The finger puppet is, going to go exercise now. The finger puppet is going to do this. The finger puppet is going to do that. And we just love this finger puppet. It's like our favorite finger puppet. And we're just go, oh, this is it. We love the finger puppet. And let's look at the hair, and look at the little outfit that I put on the finger puppet today, and everything like that. And we get so caught up on the finger puppet that we forget that in truth, that's just a finger puppet. We just put it on our finger, right? We just put it on our finger. It's not a big, it's just a finger puppet. And then something happens to the finger puppet, right? And we end up having to get a new finger puppet. So we had to take the finger puppet off, and now we're like, well, we're just the finger, right? But are we just a finger? Actually, no. In my view, we're not the finger. In my view, we're actually the whole hand. We're like the whole hand. And we're getting caught up on the finger. And we're not even getting caught up on the finger. We're getting caught up on the finger puppet. We're getting caught up on what is viewed as us. And where I'm going with this is, that the finger puppet is our physical body. The finger puppet is that physical body. We are this drop of spirit that is controlling the physical body, but that is only a drop, only one digit of the whole entity of us. And we're the whole entity. And if we step back and we start to look at our whole self and attach to our whole self and unattach from the finger puppet, guess what we gain? We gain sight. We gain freedom. We gain so much wisdom, because within us is all this really great stuff. We gain the ability to view life differently when we're coming from the whole hand perspective than from the one digit perspective, and even more so what we really truly operate with here in our physical existence, the finger puppet. We're not the fucking finger puppet. It's like changing our clothes every day. Do we, and as I was telling her, I said, another way to look at it is that, we've been driving our car for 5-6 years. It's starting to have trouble. Or maybe we've been driving our car for, maybe, because a car life is less than for the most of us. But let's say we have this car and we just have not been able to afford a new car. And we've been driving it forever, okay? Forever. And then we go and we're like, I'm going to go get a new car. Do we enter the car lot going, oh man, I got to get a new car? Some people do. Some people do. They're caught up on, the cost of the car. They're caught up on that they have to let go of the car. The majority of us out there are excited to go get a new car. The majority of us are excited about the new car. We walk onto the lot and we're excited about test driving this. We're excited about the new smell of the car. We're excited about picking out color. We're excited about trying to get the best deal. We're excited about all these different things. All with the new car, right? Yet we look at our physical existence and the ending of our physical existence as something that is so bad. Jason, I love buying new cars. say, love buying new cars. But here's the thing. If we started looking at our physical existence as though we were buying a new car as we were coming to the end, and really, are we getting everything out of our car experience? I mean, why do we love buying a new car? It's like if we go and I remember in last May, I was in Laguna Beach with my partner, and we go and we're at the car lot because we're renting a car, and we're going to go and take a drive, and we're going to go do all this different stuff. So we're renting a car. And he had wanted to rent a Jeep because he knows that I love Jeeps. So he wanted to rent a Jeep. Well, the only Jeep they had available was the Jeep Cherokee with a sunroof. And that was it. They only had this Jeep Cherokee with a sunroof. And we're standing there and we're looking at it. And it would fit like 6 people in it. There's just the 2 of us. It's not necessarily the romantic car. But he was like, well, we could go off-road. We could do this. We could do that. And I'm standing there and we're looking at it. And he's like, and the guy comes up and he's like, here's your Jeep. My partner, he looks at me, he's just like, there was this red Mustang, I think it was, convertible Mustang sitting across the way. A flaming red little Mustang. Beautiful, beautiful car. And he looked at me, he looks at me, he says, how would you feel about us getting that car? He's like, we could, put the roof down, we can drive down the freeway, we can see the ocean, all this different stuff. And here's the thing, I was like, hell yes to the convertible, hell yes to the sports car. Why? Because we're having an experience. It's something that we get to do for the next 3-4 days, and let's just go and enjoy the world from this perspective of just not having the roof up, and enjoying the California sun, and enjoying the coastline and the air, the wind blowing through instead of being closed into a Jeep Cherokee, which would have been fine if that's all we could have gotten, but we had a choice. There was enthusiasm around the experience of this car that we were renting for a few days. The point of all of this is not actually death and my belief in death or what is to come after. That doesn't matter. That's my beliefs, your beliefs, your belief. The point is that we're so focused on the digit. We're so focused on just the finger, and even less, we're focused on the physical body. And we get caught up in the what ifs and the loss of, and we allow all the what ifs and the loss of this to prevent us from connecting to our whole self and to prevent us from living in the moment. And it is not until the end of our days that we start to, as my mother is experiencing, we start to look down and we go, oh my God, this isn't me. Look, this isn't my hand. It's wrinkly. This isn't my leg. It's wrinkly. What happened to my hair? Why is it, look at this, because she'll do this to me. She'll be like, look. And she's got all this white hair. I'm like, Mom, we'll color it. It's fine. Whatever makes you happy. She is fighting for wanting to go back to, she wants to be something that she is not in her physical form. Her spirit may think that it's younger, and her spirit is probably far older, but that energy, that vibrance, it's in there, but it's stuck in a body that is no longer able. And as I told her, you're no longer able to do those things. I told her, my message to her yesterday, unfortunately, when we were talking, she's like, oh, well, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this, I want to do that. I said, Mom, 20 years ago, you could have done that. Over the last 20 years, you could have definitely chose differently. Instead, you chose to attach yourself to me. You chose to follow me everywhere. You chose to do these things instead of living your own life. You chose to try to live through me and literally attach like this, which she has done, like this, instead of living your own life. And now you're sitting here going, I want. And now you have no choice but to be dependent on the very thing that you have attached to and given your life to for the last 20 years. We all do this somewhere. We all do this somewhere. That's the lesson, is that we all do it somewhere. We all attach to things that we don't need to be attaching to. We all attach to, a lot of the times it's our children. We say we're doing things for our children. We say that we're doing this, we're doing that. We sacrifice our life for things that we don't need to sacrifice our life for. And I'm not saying that giving your time to your children is a bad thing. Crap, I got 7 kids. I give my time to my kids a lot. I give my time less to my kids today than what I did in my 20s. In my 20s, I believed that I needed to be this super mom in every single way, and that I needed to have all this stuff, and that they were my world, and that they were supposed to be my world. Internally, they were not my world. Internally, I was growing bitter towards my children because I could feel my life just not happening the way, I wasn't doing the things for me that I needed. I was using them as an excuse. I was using them as an obstacle. I was using them as a reason. I was using them as a very, very big should. I should do this. I should do that. I should take care of my kids. I shouldn't put my kids as number one priority. I should put myself on the back burner. I should, sacrifice this for this because I am a mother. I should. And that was me doing what my mother has done for the last 20 years with me. And now in the case of like my mother and I, since I was born, actually. Like, I look at it, she's been like this my entire life. But in my adult years, coming from Northern California, I'm a Chico girl. So growing up south of Shasta, and having, you know, all this different stuff available, and I would want to go do this and I would want to go do that, but my mom always managed to attach herself to anything. Matter of fact, I went to get a job someplace, so she decided that she should work 2 jobs and get a job there. I put myself through a back then, like what is it called? I quit high school in about 6 months into high school, and I put myself through this whole program to get myself out of high school really, really quick. And so I did, and got myself out of high school quick. But one of the things I had to do was I had to go and get physical education credit, which meant that I had to go in the evenings to this class at the high school and do aerobics. It was step aerobics. It was welcome to the 90s, step aerobics. Anyway, but I wanted to do it by myself, but my mom's like, no, I'm going to do it with you. So, you know, I couldn't even take my PE class all by myself. She had to do that. And, you know, if I did anything, she was attached to me really bad. And yesterday I told her, I said, Mom, you're codependent. And the problem with your codependency is that you have raised a child that is really not codependent at all. Like, I'm that person that if somebody starts to become codependent with me, I'm like, yeah, have a nice life. I'm over here. I don't do that with my mother just because I know that I'm pretty much all she has. So, but there's probably not a moment in the day that I don't go, I need space. I need space. So she taught somebody to know how to definitely step away, detach. She taught me detachment through her over-attachment. And I'm not saying that you have to be unattached to things. We do have attachment. We all are attached. We're attached to different things. It's the way we're made. It's, you know, we're supposed to, it's part of connection. It's part of what we refer to as love. It's what, it's lessons, if nothing else. But in that attachment, how attached are you to any one particular thing? How are you allowing it to hold you back? How are you allowing it to keep you small? What are you doing as far as this? You know, every time I go like this with her, she's holding on, she's holding on, she's holding on. And here's the thing, notice also the reverse of this. When we are that attached to something, especially outside of ourselves, such as our children, and I'm going to pick on kids today, such as our children, or even like our parents or our partners, our work, our jobs is what I mean by work there, our work. Anytime we are overly attached to these things that we count as security and comfort, what are we actually doing? What are we actually doing? In those moments when we do those things and the energy that we're putting out is a fear-based energy, an energy not based in love, not based in true belief, not based in certainty that God can do anything. And we are trying to control through our need for security and comfort everything else. And it means that we are attached to all these physical things, whether it is a relationship, job, money, car, house, you name it. And we prevent the flow from coming in through our attachment. We prevent the flow from coming in. And what it does is it steals the very life from us that we are given in each and every moment that we spend attached, overly attached. There's healthy attachment, and I'm talking about unhealthy attachment here. I'm talking about that fear of, what would I do if I lost my job? Oh my God, my world would be over. Would it really? Would it really? No, you were looking for a job when you got that job. There's another job out there. Oh my gosh, what if something happens to somebody that I love? What if they get into a car accident? Can you prevent it? Just like with your children, can you prevent anything that happens once they walk out the door, when they go to school? Is it within your control? Crap. I mean, my 3-year-old jumped off the bed a couple weeks ago and hit the dresser corner really, really hard. Busted his skull open pretty damn good. It wasn't horribly bad, but I mean, it's hit a spot that bleeds really bad. Looked a heck of a lot worse than what it was. Could that have been prevented? I guess it could have if somebody was with him at 24/7 every single moment. He was never alone, and we're like, no, don't be a kid. Don't be a kid. Don't learn. Don't fall down and get back up. Don't have this experience. Don't do this. Don't do that. Let me just take care of you here. Nemo just went through my head. So I'm going to, anybody who's seen Nemo will know where I'm going with this. But in the movie Nemo, Nemo's dad, he's always telling Nemo, I'll never let anything bad happen to you. I'll never let anything happen to you. And he's talking about, like, he's not going to let Nemo get eaten by fish. He's not going to let Nemo get stolen by the fishing boat guys, right? He's always going to save Nemo. He's never going to let, but his statement is, I'm never going to let anything happen to you. And it's not until, what's her face? Dory. I had a Dory moment. I couldn't remember Dory. It's not until Dory, the little blue fish, comes along and towards 3/4 of the way through the movie, and she says and this is the point. Here's the point here. It's like, because this is what we do to ourselves. We do it to ourselves. We do it to our children. We do it to our partners. We do this in life. We're very, very much this. I'm not going to let anything happen to you. Isn't that sad? Isn't that sad? Because if you never let anything happen to your child, if you never let anything happen to yourself, then what are you experiencing? That means that you're never going to let anything, you're holding down so much, everything, that you're not giving yourself the room to breathe, to enjoy, to experience, to love, to risk. And guess what? You don't get a choice in the risk department. If you're listening to this morning, that means that you're awake. That means that you're breathing. That means that your heart is beating. That means that your spirit consciously is in a physical entity called your body. That also means that you're risking. You're risking right now, in this moment, you are risking. From each moment of your life, whether you are conscious or not, as long as your heart is beating, you're risking. My goal. Attachment learns so very much about this from you and others. The question I now ask myself when I become aware of attachment is, my attachment rooted in orgasm or fear of loss? When it is fear or loss, damn powerful shit occurs, if I allow. It's always stepping into, opening up, and asking yourself, is that true? It's Byron Katie it there. Ask yourself, is that true? Is that true that my world is going to be over if I lose my job? Is that true that my world is going to be over if this divorce happens? Is that true that my world is going to be over because I just had the loss of somebody that I love in my life? Is that true that my world is going to be over because I just got diagnosed with something? Is that true that my world is going to be over because I had to file bankruptcy? Pick your traumatic situation. Your world's not going to be over. The world's not going to be over. The world's not over in this form until this form is over. Until then, don't let the what ifs of the future steal your today. I think that's a quote. I don't know who quoted it, who it is though. But there's your quote of the day. But it's so true, because that's the way we live our life. And it's more on the lines of just letting yourself love, stepping into love, allowing love. And I'm going to focus in on love, and I'm not talking about romantic love here. I'm not talking about romantic love is 1 digit of love. That's it. Stop worrying about the finger puppet. Start embracing the whole hand. start experiencing your whole self. Taking the little nuggets, I hope, that I've been trying to share through Conscious Coffee. And I know it's kind of like this, I should have titled it, it's not Conscious Coffee, it's kind of like crazy thoughts from Kendal or something. This is the way I process things. It's the way I wait, the way I think about life. It's the, the things that I've learned through the years and the things that I have done since I was a kid on some of it. So there you go. This attachment stuff, welcome to the 5-year-old Kendal, because I was like that when I was 5. This is me through and through. Death is one of those things. Transition, transformation, which is all parts of death. I know very well personally that I'm dying this year. I'm dying this year. I don't know if I'm physically dying this year. I have no idea about that. But I know that I'm dying this year in the essence of that I'm making humongous transformational changes. They've been in the works. I felt them. There's been lots of little changes. This particular year, I know that there is going to be humongous things changing. Things that will change my world for the next 10 years if I have the blessing of witnessing it for the next 10 years or longer. But here's the thing. You have that same thing. There's transformation. There's always transformation. There's transformation. Each transformation is a death. In each orgasm, there is a high and there's a death. There's a change of energy. And whether that is in the actual orgasm, in your sexing, and you have that orgasm, guess what? You experience a little death orgasm there that is a little death as well. It changes you. It changes your frequency. It changes your connection. It changes things in your being. And it opens you up to more if you allow it. Much like in our sex, what we tend to do in our real reality, in our existence, is that we shut down the orgasm. We shut down the orgasm. We give ourselves a little taste and we shut it down. A little taste and we shut it down. Yes, like Addison just said, each day is a birth and a death. And that's true. After each darkness, there's what? There's a sunrise. There's a birth. But there must be a darkness before. Even birth itself is a death. And it comes with pain, and it comes with beauty. You can't just have it all on high, and you're never going to have it all on low either. But what most of us are trying to do is, and what this world has come to, is that we feel like we should be living on this plateau of just this flat line, a flat line. So we take drugs. We pump ourselves full of pharmaceutical drugs, preventing ourselves from experiencing the orgasm of life, preventing ourselves from experiencing the death and the birth of each day, of each moment, of each breath. We fill ourselves full of alcohol, full of other things to prevent us from experiencing and really truly living in the moment and experiencing the moment. So, see what time it is. I'm going to say goodbye to you guys, but my question to you is, how are you avoiding death in your life? Why are you avoiding death in your life? And how can you step into death so that you can experience your birth? There you go. That's it. That's it for the day. I guess I didn't need quotes. I guess I didn't need books. So, thank you to my brother's dad for passing away, because thanks to Mr. Wayne, a man I never met, this whole Conscious Coffee came up. So he's up in heaven or wherever our souls go, and I'm in gratitude to him this morning. So there you have it. That's it. So yeah. So as always, if you find it in your heart to share this ashes to ashes message about death, hopefully it wasn't gloom and doom and so sad, because death could be. That's not my intent here. My intent is that it's really about birth, embracing our death so that we can be born. And, you know, really truly, I think the biggest the biggest thing here that I really want everybody to focus in on is that when we hold so tightly onto our security and comforts, that we prevent ourselves from living. And guess what? God's not throwing down the blessings to those of us who are holding that tight. If you grasp that so tight, then you're not going to receive to the max what you could. And God will bless you with tons of blessing when you let go. When you let go. So, thank you, Amy. All right. I love you guys. Please share this message, and I will catch you guys tomorrow. I guess in the cold too. At 6 a.m. for another Conscious Coffee, and we'll see where that takes us. Okay. Go have a turn on day. Love you guys.